So before we get into this Bama football, because man, it's the Crimson Tide, of course. I just got to ask you, young Roman Harper, just growing up, who were some of your favorite football players?
Walter Payton, Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott. I grew up a 49ers fan too, so I was really big on the 49ers. Anybody who was Cowboys hated them. And I was just all about the 49ers. I know I'm in Dallas. Probably shouldn't say that too loud.
I felt a little way about that. I almost
I forgot where I was at for a second.
Okay, I like that. But, safety. A lot of great safeties come to mind. But for you as a safety, if you did your Mount Rushmore of safeties that you've seen play or even just heard about, what would be your four?
I would go with Ronnie Lott, number one. After that, I would probably go with. It's so hard because I love Steve Atwater too.
Ooh, that's it.
Back in the day, right?
Yeah.
I love Steve Atwater, his physicality, way. I mean, he was but I could never be like Steve Atwater. Steve Atwater's 6'3", 220 something, and coming downhill smacking mother suckers.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, all right. Ronnie Lott, Steve Atwater.
Okay.
I love Troy Polamalu's game too.
Okay.
He's just a big playmaker. But he was allowed to do things that nobody else ever gets to do. And then Mount Rushmore's 4. So my fourth one will be the guy that got to influence me in a positive way on the field in so many different ways, teach me the game, show me how to be a playmaker, how to watch film, and not only watch film, but watch film to watch it to where you are ready to make your play. And that is Darren Sharper, who, if he didn't get in trouble, is clearly a Hall of Famer because of his numbers.
Crazy. He's definitely a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this Bama football. We know the history. It speaks for itself. They got a million NFL guys, including yourself. Just this season, new regime is in. How do you feel about that? Being an alum or being the guy that actually has to talk about this game, how do you feel about this new Bama regime?
No, I'm really excited about it. I think Kalen DeBoer's done a really good job. First of all, talk about his humility, the way he goes about his business. Every time you turn around, he's always thanking Nick Saban. He's thanking him for what he left him. He's thanking him for this. And most people don't even want the job because nobody wants to replace the GOAT. But Kalen DeBoer's like, no, sign me up. I got it. And so now he has more opportunities, more firepower, because he can go out and recruit nationally, which he probably could not do at the same scale he did at Washington. So we know he can coach. We know he can develop talent. Now he's got more abilities to do more, so I think he will only be more. And now everybody's just, they just got to put it together. It's a new regime. The defense is going to look different. It's probably going to feel a little bit differently. But you don't second-guess the coach because the coach can coach. He's only lost like 12 games. And he can probably name off every single one of those games since he's been coaching. So it's been really, really cool. I think the one unique fun fact about Kalen DeBoer that I've learned is that he is an Excel spreadsheet wizard. Nobody knows that, so it's just exclusive for you guys.
Oh, wow. Okay. 2 more questions, man. So, Bama football. I know it's hard to do a Mount Rushmore, but you got to do it. I know it's easy to put Bear Bryant and Nick Saban on it because of their history.
Only doing players. I got to stay coaches off. That's
okay. So, give me your 4.
I think you got to go with, that's so hard. Like, of all time?
Yeah, or just you want to keep it from your generation going forward, that's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. If I went all time, it would be mostly old school guys. But we've had so many great players because it's really hard to put Joe Namath in over Bart Starr, right? And and then you look at the pure numbers. Then you got Tua, and Jalen. AJ McCarron, who put up couple championships. So it's like, man. Like, what is it? It's really hard to do as, and then you got Ozzie Newsome, who's got to go down. Then you got Biscuit and Cornelius Bennett. Then you got Derek Thomas, who's even better. Then the one offensive, John Hanna, who's allegedly probably the greatest offensive lineman in Alabama's history.
Yep.
But then Curtis Samuels might have something to say. Big C may have something to say about that. Is the highest drafted guy. So you can continue to go on and on and on, but I know I'm way over my Mount Rushmore, and I even talked about guys that I played with, and so.
I hear this right. It's a lot of gloating with this Bama thing. Y'all see this right?
I'm not even talking about guys. as far as like on campus and talent, you got other guys, like other great linebackers that played forever and were very, very impactful. So it's going to really be hard, but I don't know who to put. You got to put Antonio Langham possibly on that Mount Rushmore. Yeah. George Teague for the play he made versus Miami. I mean, he goes down in legend just because of that play alone. And then also protecting the star from T.O. here in Dallas when he was a Cowboy. So yeah, I mean, it's just it just means more. I don't know what else to say.
Y'all see that? I knew that was going to happen. See, he can do that because he named number legends, so it's difficult. Yeah,
and that's hard. It's hard. Like, how could I? Yeah. I didn't even go down the real list. Where Fernando Bryant, who's the real guy back in the day when Antonio Langham got drafted high, but Fernando Bryant was the dude.
Yeah.
So
You can say Julio.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to
Julio, Derrick Henry.
And like all
don't let him keep loading.
Yeah. You know what I mean? The only Heisman winning wide receiver. You know what I mean?
Wow.
We got that too.
Got everything now. Yeah.
Like,
I may not should ask that question now. Yeah. Okay.
Then we got Derrick Henry, the all-time leading rusher in the SEC.
Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Jeez, man, the history's there. Okay, cool. Final question for me. You've been an NFL player, 2-time Pro Bowl. You know, you had a great career. When you looked across the field and you were facing some great wide receivers and tight ends, if you could do your 5 guys that you were like, man, you saw it on the field, they came with it when you had to match up or even see them on the field, had to study for them. Who are the 5 guys you can mix in tight ends and the wide receivers?
Number 1, Calvin Johnson, because of his size, speed, his catch radius. Mm-hmm. And, I was on the same team with him at the Pro Bowl, so it was like the best of the best.
Okay.
And he was still like way better than everybody else. You're like, man, dude, this dude he's the biggest, he's the fastest, he jumps the highest, he has one-hand catches, and he's like, it's just very freaks. And he works hard, extremely hard at working. I would also say Tony Gonzalez, just because every time I had to guard him, it was always just tough sledding because he's so much bigger than me.
Yep.
He was 6'6", almost 6'7", and he just basketballed all the time. He wasn't like that fast, especially when I played him because he was older. But he just always just used his body and just boxed me out, and it was very frustrating. So I just like very, very frustrated. And Matt Ryan just always threw it to him, little security blanket. You know what I mean?
Okay, I like that.
He was very much so a security blanket. Another guy who's just really just showed up all the time. Mike Evans was always really, really good. He's the epitome of just consistent.
Future Hall of Famer, yeah.
Every time. He's just, you line up 1,000 yards. Like, doesn't matter since college to the league. Just a 1,000-yard guy every single time. I played against Randy Moss, but he didn't really do that much versus us.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to say like how great he is or speak up on him when I don't have that personal opinion. Mm-hmm. One of the funnest guys I used to guard was Kellen Winslow Jr.
Okay.
Just because I've never had a guy make that many sounds while running routes. And he always talked trash. Like, whether he was getting the ball or not, he had something to say all the time. So, like, the personal battles for me means the most. And he was always like, like, all
Say
the
it
time.
too far. Say it too far.
The whole time. Like, but that's who he was. And he's like, I got you. And I'm like, dude, they threw the ball to the other side of the field. He's like, yeah, but I got you, though. I'm like,
it doesn't matter.
But this is what kept me going. And it was really, really fun. I'm pretty sure I'm leaving somebody off. Oh, also, a young Brandon Marshall, when he was with Jay Cutler in Denver, dude was a problem. He just didn't know he was a problem mentally as well. And then he eventually got that addressed, and now he's a much better person, a much better teammate, and overall a better human being because he got all those things addressed.
Wow. Y'all see this, man, this Bama pride here, man. It was too much for me, man. But, Roman, just real quick, can you tell everyone where they can find you? Obviously, you're doing TV, doing a great job with that and everything, but just tell everyone where they can find you.
Yeah, man, I'm on SEC Network, on ESPN platforms, so talking college football. But on my socials, I'm Roman Harper. On Instagram, maybe Roman _ I don't know, bro. Just look me up.
We'll find it.
Yeah, I got a blue check, and it kind of looks like me, but like a cartoon emoji. And then on Twitter, it's just Roman Harper. I don't think anybody has blue checks anymore because I ain't paying for it.
That's true. That makes sense.
Mama ain't raised no fool.
All right, now, last thing I need you to do, go ahead and say it because it's the thing that y'all do as Bama players.
I wasn't going to do it, but you asked for it, so roll Tide.
There we go. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
No
That's
doubt.
it.